Tonight on the Black Channel. Well, what do you know? Suddenly, black economics matters. The Black Channel is live. Unapologetic, unadulterated, and absolutely uncompromising. Greetings, brothers and sisters from around the world, and welcome back to the home, the haven, the stronghold, and the everlasting superfortress of intelligent black thought. We are the Black Media, and this is the Black Channel, and I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the voice of Black America, the Black Authority, broadcasting to you live from the only historically black college university of higher education and learning in the cosmos. You are, of course, welcome to join us. And join us you shall, because on tonight's program, I'd like to take a moment here to acknowledge a few things here. So for those of you who, and there's been so much going on here, I want to mention to you all last night that, I was going to talk about this, was definitely going to talk about this. Because there are so many dimensions to this, and it confirms so many of the things that we have kept you abreast of all this time. During this election season, what this really highlights is that there are people who are trying to destroy white supremacy, then there are people who are just trying to improve their position within the system of white supremacy, and you see the folks who are attempting to improve their position within it. These are folks who don't talk about our issues. These are folks who don't discuss what we talk about. These are people who do not discuss that because, as far as they're concerned, they already got theirs. They've already got theirs, and the only thing it's good for is sitting around buck dancing and plantation jamboreeing with other Negroes who claim they got theirs. But one of the things in particular I want to point out here is call signs. I want to point out in particular about call signs. Now, for those of you who are unaware, there have been two events recently. One with a bunch of black women, they get on the Zoom call. We're going to raise a bunch of money for Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. Then you had a bunch of black males sit up here and jump up and decide they were not to be outdone. So here they came. And I want to deal with that one because, boy, Butterball Martin is as happy as a hog in slop at Bojangles at noontime when the biscuits are right out the oven. Oh, they're so happy with themselves over there. And I'm going to just take everything they're saying at face value that they really did raise that. I am really going to take it at face value. So they got together and they put on their own little event. And there's some things I want you to hear. I've got a lot to go over here. I'm not going to start with the first one. I'm actually going to start a little bit down the line because there's something else instead that I want you to hear first. So I'm not going to start with the first thing I have. We're going to start a little bit further down the line. And there are a couple of call signs in here, but this first clip I want to play for you really does articulate exactly what was going on there. By the way, fair use, Roland. Read them and weep and hate all you want to. Fair use. So this is the first clip I want you to hear.
Brief. We would like no more than 2 minutes because we've got so many people who want to jump on. People are texting me. Senator Raphael Warnock is stuck at the airport. He's trying to get on. Don Cheadle is trying to get on. And so many others are trying to get on. Here's an update. We've now hit $600,000. We've only been live, y'all, for 45 minutes. We've already hit 600,000. Y'all keep giving. Wendell Pierce just texted me. As I said, Hill Harper has texted me. John Legend is watching us right now. And so this thing is going. Let's go back to some alphas. Hey, y'all, don't blame me. It's just how it is. Lee Saunders, he is the president of AFSCME.
Well, did you hear that roll call? Don Cheadle's trying to get on. Hill Harbor and Wendell Pierce. All right. So did you all hear that? And then last but not least, another one of my alphas out there. Here it is. So isn't that a roll call for you? But what I wanted to do there, and by the way, the list of names goes on even longer than that, by the way. List of names goes on even longer than that. It really, really does. During the little program there, oh, don't worry, I got all the invoices. I don't have receipts, I have invoices. I do not have receipts, I have invoices. Boy, take a look at this. This still picture right here kind of says a few things, all right?
Orders, so y'all step on up. Next up, super producer, Will Packer, FAMU, represent HBCUs, and an alpha. What's up, Frat?
What up, baby? What's happening?
All good.
I did not bring receipts. I brought invoices. I did not tell you what you pay. I tell you what you owe. And if you want to know whether or not it was a plantation jamboree or not, I assure you it was. And let me tell you right now, I'm going to make a lot of enemies tonight. I'm going to make a lot of enemies tonight here because I'm about to say something that is going to upset some folks. I'm going to say something that's going to upset some people, but let it be known. There is a reason why we out here in the fields don't fool with you house niggas, you Hollywood house niggas.
And deal with it, nigga.
There is a reason that those of us out here in the fields do not really fool with the Hollywood house niggas. There's a reason we don't really do that. There are some people who would be afraid to say what I'm saying right now. There are some folks who would cower back and shrink back and fall back because they would be operating under the mistaken, foolish, erroneous notion. I don't want to burn no bridges. I don't want to burn no bridges, so I don't want to say something that could be interpreted as offensive to a certain group in a certain area in society, because I worry about that, folks. There's a reason why I had to get it out the soil and produce my own films. There's a reason why I had to do that. Because I don't want to be beholden to any of these niggas. I don't want to have any of them. And I say, well, let me make sure I say the right thing and watch my words. I got to speak on behalf of the people. I can't be sitting there worried that I might offend somebody who one day, maybe he could pass the bag and get some money for me, and maybe 9 a.m. will be bigger than 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. What? I can't operate that way, folks. I cannot operate that way. I can't do that kind of calculus. I can't do that kind of math. I can't operate that way. Congratulations to Will Packer. Brother, you done give good for yourself. I ain't hating on that. That's great. That's wonderful. That's fine. But I would be remiss if I didn't say I can't help but notice y'all fellas ain't front line for the things we really need. Butterball, buttle ass Roland Martin. You had Michael Emotep on your program throwing subs at me, talking about the black empowerment people, the black economics people, and yet when it's time for you to kiss Kamala Harris's ass, the only thing that woman wants from you is cash money dollars. Damn! All of a sudden, black economics matters. Well, I'll be damned. Now, when you're talking to us, you telling us that it doesn't matter. Why, we don't need to hold Biden's feet to the fire for a damn thing. That's what they tell us. That economics don't matter. Here, student loans and prescription pills, that's what you worry about. Oh, symbolism, Ketanji Brown Jackson, a woman who ain't did nothing for us and done plenty against us. That's what you talk about. Black economics didn't matter when we've been talking about it for over a decade, 2 decades. Black economics doesn't matter. Now that you need to kiss these white folks' ass and the Asian white woman's ass, now all of a sudden, black economics matters. All of a sudden. And they don't want to talk about nothing else. All of a sudden, it's time to pass the hat. When it was time for them to make an impression on Kamala Harris, they didn't come to her with a atta girl and a pat on the back. All of them got together and started stacking dollars. But then they will turn around and come tell you and me when we say that we don't want to talk to Joe Biden or Kamala Harris about nothing but dollars. Then all of a sudden they come to you and me and tell you and me, shut up. I just did that program here a couple of weeks ago. Roland Martin literally was telling us, shut up and vote. Now they sitting up here grabbing money and still telling us, shut up and vote. That doesn't sound like an electorate. That sounds like pimps and hoes.
Nigga, please.
That's what that sounds like to me. Pimping and hoeing. So there's a reason why you Hollywood niggas can't really get no traction over here. Y'all sat up here and really within less than an hour, they showed up. And y'all got to understand that Roland Martin's big jolly ass, I mean, as happy as he can damn well be, because for the first damn time ever, he's actually been acknowledged. So he is using politics to try to sit up here and bootstrap, if you will, his name off of some known celebrities so that you can associate his name with theirs, because before now, the nigga was irrelevant.
Brief. We would like no more than 2 minutes because we've got so many people who want to jump on. People are texting me. Senator Raphael Warnock is stuck at the airport. He's trying to get on. Don Cheadle is trying to get on. And so many others are trying to get on. Here's an update. We've now hit $600,000. We've only been live, y'all, for 45 minutes. We've already hit 600,000. Y'all keep giving. Keep giving. Wendell Pierce just texted me. As I said, Hill Harper has texted me. John Legend is watching us right now. And so this thing is going. Let's go back to some alpha.
Okay, Roland Martin has never been able to get traction in the Democratic Party. He is a big, fat ass, irrelevant individual. But what he has found out is that since Barack Obama would not acknowledge his existence and Joe Biden would not return his phone calls, now he sees the most helpless politician that we have witnessed in our entire lifetimes. Kamala Harris is the most vulnerable, helpless politician that we have seen in our lifetimes. And Roland thinks that she's in such a perilous situation that he can go ahead now and get her, use her, that now she needs him. So it's going to be very unlikely that you would be able to stop him now because she needs him. She wasn't returning the phone calls before now. She needs him. So now we got a situation where we can watch what they doing here for a man who's been ignored all this damn time. He's been ignored all this time. And he thinks she's vulnerable enough that now, well, what if I throw some dollars? So he's sitting up here big tricking. Sitting up here big tricking. And telling you and me he's sitting up here bragging about it. So he thinks now if he can't, remember he was complaining, he's been complaining after the 2020 election that Kamala Harris wouldn't come on his program. Hey y'all, has Kamala showed up on his show yet? What? One more thing, by the way, did she ever show up on this program? Did she ever show up in this program? By the way, Okay. So he is still hoping. He's still hoping. And he's using other folks' money to do it. So Roland Martin got there, and by the way, I would literally be here for a long time if I did the next part. I would be here for a long time if I didn't do the next part, if I do the next part the way I'm supposed to do it. So we're really just going to skip through it, to be totally honest. I'm not even really giving everything this nigga in this ridiculous ass hat. The hell does he think he's doing? All right.
Went ahead and grabbed my hat since you went ahead and said that. So I gotta represent the Black Cowboys. So we appreciate that. Folks, we started this call literally 20 minutes ago. We have already raised $130,000. Brothers, y'all are doing this thing already. And so we've already hit $130,000. And our next guest, he knows how to raise money. He knows how to get them fired up. And he's one of the baddest brothers. And yes, he's a member of the coldest and the boldest fraternity of them all, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. Put y'all hands together, brothers, for the governor of Maryland, Governor Westmore.
Oh, yeah. Now that the Democrats need the money, they've been behind. They're pulling out all the stops. They even finally started returning Roland Martin's damn voicemail messages. What? Oh, I mean, he is happy as hell. The Democrat Party is finally returning his phone calls. I mean, he's actually getting folks who are actually in office and elected. They're actually answering the phone now. Hell, actually calling him. Don't you know he is absolutely exuberant over this? He's like, oh, I'll be damned. Whereas Morris, oh, they return the phone calls for a damn change. They're not acting like I don't exist.
What's going on, Frat?
And that right there. If you want to know the reason why our black political class is useless, that right there. The both of them two glad-handing, phony-ass niggas. What? Westmore don't fool with your big, jolly, milk dud built ass. You're just here because you can be used for an election season. Soon as that woman gets in the White House, Westmore is not going to answer no damn phone calls. But I just wanted to show you all why they are useless. They're not even legitimate with each other. This is why they're useless. They can get together. Everything is about a show. Everything's about being entertaining. This is why those of us who talk like we do, this is why we scary. We're scary to them. Because they're like, hey, we need to have a lever to pull to go ahead and get you to jump when we want you to. And it doesn't work that way. So let's be very clear. There's a reason why we don't get anything done with the Congressional Black Caucus. There's a reason why your black political class doesn't get anything done for us. There's a reason for that. And there's a reason why your so-called fraternities. You got fraternities all over the damn place bragging on themselves, can't show you a damn thing they've gotten done for us. Everybody sits up here and wants to complain about the Heritage Foundation. You can show what they do. The Enterprise Institute, you can show what they do. These white institutes and think tanks and organizations, you can show what the hell they do. What about your so-called damn black Greek fraternities? What about them? What about them? What have they ever done? Ever? Except get together with each other and oil each other up and line dance on each other's badonkey. What else what have they done? Mark Lamont Schill and the rest of them, what have they done? Kamala Harris shows up and all of a sudden they ain't scared to talk about black economics and black dollars all of a sudden. Sitting up here shouting us down and criticizing us because we said no reparations, no vote. No black agenda, and the black agenda must be economic. No black agenda, no black economic agenda, no vote. These niggas out here working their asses off, stacking some money, and then, okay, well, let's help her get in office. This is what we're up against. I wanted to point this out to show you, by the way, this is what we're up against. Yeah, Roland, they know where your big bulbous ass is. Yes, they've been ignoring your damn existence. Now that they need you for something, he done sat up here and jumped to the damn front of the queue. Isn't that amazing? Now, I told y'all, Roland Martin knows this. I explained this to you before. For those of you who saw my documentary film 7 a.m., if you want these politicians to pay you some attention, you need to know how to do two things. You need to know how to organize an event that a lot of people show up for, or organize an event that raises a bunch of money. You need to do one of those two things. And all of a sudden, the politicians will stop ignoring you for some part of the time. And so that's the game that Roland is playing now. Roland's playing the game of, okay, well, if I can raise a bunch of money, surely you can't ignore me anymore. So he done dogpiled as many of them as he could. He got Wes Moore sitting up here at the damn beginning of his little show because I guess he was worried if it didn't work out very well. We're sitting up here showing our frat rings. And meanwhile, the proletariat has been abandoned. So they only do substantive things for their paymasters. And then tell you and me it doesn't matter. When we show up and say, yeah, by the way, them dollars, then they tell us it doesn't matter. That's not funny or a game to me. You can be a member of whatever fraternity you want to. What's turned it into a negative is that we couldn't help but notice y'all don't do a damn thing until the politicians show up. Then y'all have this social circle. It becomes like church, a big old social circle. You sit around with other folks, you start comparing your rings, you start comparing your clothes, you start putting on funny ass hats, you start talking about your job titles. Ain't that right, Governor West? Those of us out here getting the real work done, we only got one title, black. We ain't out here trying to impress nobody with no degree, with some job title, with some political position, with some elective office, and no results. That doesn't build a rep for you over here, bud. That'll build a rep for you over here on our side. On our side, results are how you gain a rep. Not showboating and buck dancing. That don't gain a rep over here. So Roland has decided to go for a full court press. He thinks that Kamala Harris, after all these years, she spent the whole time in office, years now, ignoring his phone calls, won't come on his show. And now he sees an opening. And he's saying it's now or never. And by the way, you are a pathetic strategist, Roland. Pathetic. You're just chief fundraiser and chief hoe. You'd have been a lot smarter if you had sat up here and held it over her damn head before now. You would have been smarter. If you could have got it before she got her ass into a crack, that would have been a power move. All you're really doing is giving her a bunch of benefits and you're demanding nothing in return except, now here's why it's deadly, everyone. He's demanding nothing in return except personal benefits for himself. Damn! Y'all get that? He's not demanding anything from her except personal benefits for himself. See, we get together as a group and we're talking about what we gonna do for the group. But when these niggas get together, it's all about personal benefits for themselves. Rollins didn't organize this damn 4-H fundraiser because he had anything to do with black folk in mind. He's doing that for himself to raise his profile so that he could go ahead and make some headlines. Yahoo News, by the way, was talking about him. Doing that so he can make some headlines. That's not an accident. That's the way they do everything. He thinks he sees an opening for himself. At least he's telling himself he does. I got some choice words about some of what I've seen and some of what I heard. Let me go ahead on your screens right now. You all can see this from the article itself. This is from the article itself. From Blavity, being shared from Blavity, but Win with Black Men raises over $1 million. As Blavity reported, the organization Win with Black Women spearheaded a call on July 21st, the same day President Joe Biden announced his withdrawal from the upcoming presidential election. Talk about a bunch of bedwenches. The WWBW Collective not only discussed issues affecting black women. You are a traitor when you phrase things in terms of black women. If it's not phrased in terms of black people, that's the same as you sitting up here talking about we all one thing while you undermine the group. This is basically domestic tetherism. Jason, that sounds like another word. That's like another term. Because it is. This is domestic tetherism. Where you sit up here and say, you say black people when it's convenient, but then when y'all are all by yourselves, all of a sudden it's black women. Yeah, you sound like domestic tethers. And many of them actually are just the real thing. But by the way, y'all, domestic tetherism. Yeah, they say black people when they're around us. And then when they're by themselves or when they're off on their own, all of a sudden they separate themselves. They delineate themselves. And then when they want something, they show up and say, we. They learn French all of a sudden. But then otherwise is us over here. No, you can stay your ass over there. I don't rock with anybody who tries to play that two-faced backstabbing thing. I don't rock with nobody who does that. So if you need to distinguish yourself as black women, we say black people, but you feel like you need to distinguish yourself, then keep distinguishing your ass on out the door. And don't come back. Distinguish your ass on out the door. The Zoom call had 44,000 participants, and they made history by accumulating 1.5 million in just 3 hours. Is that really history? History for what? Inspired by the assembly of the group, journalist...
Nigga, please.
Lie. Journalist... Roland the Bowling Ball Martin and his Black Star Network joined the cause with a Win with Black Men call the next day, according to Essence. Over 20,000 black men participated in the call, with 17,000 of them donating to Harris' campaign. Soon after the rally began, it was already a capacity, which led Martin to live stream it on YouTube so that others could participate. Elated about how the call with the men nationwide went, he tweeted the following: I have no words, and now just because I'm tired, my Black Star Network just told me that 53,862 people registered for our Win with Black Men video we call. We raised $1.3 million and counting from 17,000 donors. Per Essence, Martin said all the money, yeah, right, collected will go to the Harris campaign as well as to grassroots organizations run by black men in battleground stage. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, yeah, money will go to the Harris campaign, and it will also go to... All right, there's your swerve. There's your swerve. There's your swerve. Right there. Special guests included celebrities, community leaders, and government officials, including Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens, Maryland Governor Wes Moore, and U.S. Senator Raphael Warnock. So, they were doing their usual cooning and buffooning. Roland got together with them there and said, okay, let's see if we can make this thing happen because otherwise I am shockingly irrelevant. Let's do the best we can to make this pop off. But there are some lessons to be learned. There are some lessons to be learned from all of this. I'd like to introduce you to a few of them now because there are lessons to be learned from it. I'm going to start back here again because I want you all to understand, by the way, that's not really a joke when you do that.
Went ahead and grabbed my hat since you went ahead and said that. So I gotta represent the Black Cowboys. So we appreciate that. Folks, we started this call literally 20 minutes ago. We have already raised $130,000. Brothers, y'all are doing this thing already. And so we've already hit $130,000. And our next guest, he knows how to raise money. He knows how to get them fired up. And he's one of the baddest brothers. And yes, he's a member of the coldest and the boldest fraternity of them all, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. Put y'all hands together, brothers, for the governor of Maryland, Governor Wes Moore.
Roland thinks that he's taking out an insurance policy against the future. You all noticed that he was sitting up here yelling Wes Moore's name the whole damn time about potential Democrats to replace Joe Biden. Remember, Roland been saying Wes Moore's name the entire time. Roland sits up here and eats a Krispy Kreme there in D.C. So he's right down the street from Baltimore, Maryland. So very clearly he's trying to get himself ingratiated with Wes Moore because he's tired of being out in the wilderness by himself. So I guess he thinks he's found the one that he wants to latch himself on to.
What's going on, Frat?
All good, brother.
What's going on, everybody? I'm thrilled to be on here. And first, let me just say to the folks who are putting this on, Brother Roland, Brother Blake, another good Alpha man, Brother Khalil, Brother Bakari, and Brother Quentin, and to everybody on here. I just want to say how much I appreciate you.
How much you appreciate them. What's in this for you, bro? All right. So just within a couple of minutes, do you see how many times you've heard the word alpha from a bunch of dudes who there's nothing alpha about them, but have you heard how many times they're shouting out their fraternity? Folks, I'm going to say something here in a few minutes that's going to upset a lot of you who are listening to me right now. I don't know if you're going to be members of my program after tonight, but I have to say this. And I'm going to say it here in a few moments. I want to go ahead and play something else.
That was something that Dr. King had dreamed of. She was ready to sign off on the Voting Rights Act restored. If it had come to her, she would have been the deciding vote. She didn't get that opportunity then, but as president,
a warrior fighting on behalf of all of us. And so she is certainly with us in spirit. And we are going to, on the Black Star Network, we're going to be definitely live streaming all of her funeral services once they are announced. So we appreciate it. Thank you so very much, sir. Folks, joining us right now, Repairs of the Breach. He is a co-convener, leader of the Poor People's Campaign as well. Another alpha brother of mine. I want to go to Reverend Dr. William Barber. I know we have him via audio. Reverend Barber.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we got you, Doc.
Doc, I was just thinking, first of all, thanks to all the brothers that are on, is that the 47th president is a prime number. 47 is a prime number. You can't divide it. And prime.
What? Huh? Really? Y'all thought the plebiscite babblers were bad. 47 is a prime number. You can't divide it. Wait a minute. What? What the deep fat fried hell? We interrupt this fundraiser to bring you astrology and numerology. No wonder they're leading the Poor People's Campaign. How you going to get out of poverty with this kind of leadership?
Numbers only come around every so often. Every so often they're special, but they're transformative. And this is a prime number time. And I also want to say to the brothers, as you and I talk often about this organizing, the fact of the matter is Vice President Harris, she was poised to sign a bill to give 55 million Americans, if it had come to her, it would have been a deciding vote, not sign a deciding vote, a living wage of at least $15 an hour, something that Dr. King had dreamed of. She was ready to sign off on the Voting Rights Act restored. If it had come to her, she would have been the deciding vote. She didn't get that opportunity then, but as president, I'm sure she will get the opportunities and will push those two things. One,
nigga, please.
Nigga, please.
Nigga, please.
So here we go again. He's on there to tell you, she woulda, coulda. I mean, when, she wanted to do this, she woulda, coulda. But she just didn't get the chance. But if y'all get her elected, why, I show that this time she's gonna do something for you. Yeah, there he is. This time, if you come show and vote and show up, this time she's gonna do something. Folks, I told you it's the same damn playbook. You've been asking me for a decade, Jason, are they gonna change it? I tell you every damn time, no, they're not. They're gonna just keep trying to run the ball until this play just blows up in their face for about a good 2-3 election cycles, then they'll stop. Or at least then they'll start easing back. They won't stop, they'll start easing back. But by the way, folks, yeah, the same old sales tactic, the same old sales pitch. Same old sales pitch. No, it's not going to change. It's not going to alter. This is all they're going to offer you. Let's go ahead and take another one here.
Point, Roland. In battleground states where the margin of victory was only 3%, poor low-wage voters represent over 43% of those are the votes in that state.
Now you hear Reverend Barber still talking about poor people, low-wage voters. So you just move black folk out the damn way. The low-wage people he talking about are illegal aliens. Damn! He isn't talking about us. He's talking about the illegals. That's not for us. That's not going to help us. Raising the minimum wage in New York and California didn't do a damn thing for us. Did plenty for the illegals. Made sure that they didn't have to go back where they came from. That's not for us. And he knows it.
My brothers, let's reach out to the brothers. Yes, the brothers in the frat, like me and Roland and Alpha and another brother in Capital, but let's reach out to the brother in the barbershop, to the brother that digs the ditches.
Talking about their fraternities again. Talking about their fraternities again. Here's the issue. Most of us ain't members of no damn fraternity. That's not a selling point to us. Most of us are not members of a fraternity. Furthermore, we don't acknowledge you or admire you or wish to be because we took a look at you niggas and seen what you ain't doing. That's why you all have the terrible reputation that you have today. Your reputations are awful. The Black Greek fraternities and you sorors, your reputations are atrocious. The fraternities are a bunch of butt dancing coons and voluptuaries, and the sororities are straight up hoes in this son of a gun. Shout out Kamala Harris. What? Damn! Auntie, chill! Damn! Your reputations are atrocious. And if you're gonna be a hoe, Kamala, at least be a damn productive one that we can be proud of. We don't need to have a bunch of saints running around here. Marion Barry wasn't no saint. Okay, Marion Barry, he chased a few skirts, smoked a little dope. Yeah, ain't no thing. I'm sitting here, we ain't never had a problem with Marion Barry. We knew what was going on. Man, as soon as he walked out of the city council, he back in them streets. Okay, but the nigga did something for us while he was here. At least when he came to the city council meeting, he did something while he was there. He did something for his people while he was there. Hell, the nigga earned some downtime. He's like, okay, I done did something for black folk here with him. Passed a few bills, got a few things. I'm off to the hotel with old girl over here. We're gonna smoke a little something. Okay. It ain't never been that kind of situation. It's never been that kind of thing. Kamala, we ain't giving you a hard time over there. We giving you a hard time because I'll be damn hoeing is all you did. If hitting the pipe was all Marion did, we'd be talking the same damn thing about him. He actually did something before he went to go hit the pipe. Kamala just straight pipe hitting. Just nothing else. Just straight hoeing, nothing else. That's the problem. So no, we're not holding you to a different standard. If we were talking black economics, Marion Barry on deck. Kamala Harris running around trying to do something for everybody else except us. Hell no, we ain't going for it. You black fraternities and sororities, this is why you have the awful reputation that you have today. You are summarily worthless. And summarily useless.
Let me tell y'all right now, I always give Lee a shout out because Aspie was the first sponsor of Roland Martin Unfiltered and the Black Star Network. They were with us for year 2 as well. They were sponsors the first 2 years. This show and this network does not exist if it wasn't for Lee's support. And so, Lee, I always appreciate that. You have the floor.
Thank you, Roland. And let me just say this. We're back to the alphas now. So you had so many speakers that are alpha men. And we're going to turn this around and we're going to win in November.
I need a nigga what drop. No, not just a nigga please drop. I need a nigga what drop. That's what I need. Yeah, so there you go there. Let's go to the next one here.
Orders, so y'all step on up. Next up, super producer Will Packer, FAMU, represent HBCUs, and an alpha. What's up, Frat?
What up, baby? What's happening?
All good.
So this is what niggas do when they go to church. They sit around and show off their pinky rings and their Cadillac, and now the next generation wants to emulate that, and we ain't with it. So we can't really rock together because y'all got a different mission statement and a different mission from us. That's the issue right there. So we can't really rock with y'all. We're going in two different directions. We're trying to get something done, and you're trying to get something done for you. Let's do the next one.
To the day I die.
All right. Snuck a little capper in here. All right, then. Appreciate it. All right. Appreciate it, brother.
Roland, thank you for doing this call, and I thank everybody for allowing us to participate.
Appreciate it, sir. Thank you so very much. Senator Hughes, hold tight. I got to quickly go to Florida, State Senator Shepard Jones, and I'm coming back to Philadelphia and Pennsylvania with Senator Vincent Hughes. So let's
by the way, Cap Alpha Psi to the day I die.
All right. Snuck a little capper in here. All right, then. Appreciate it. All right. Appreciate it, brother.
Y'all see their priorities. That's why I'm showing you clip after clip. You can see what their priorities are. You want to know why the hell we can't get nothing done? Not through them we can't. You want to know why we can't get anything done? I'm just giving you a whole roll call here, and you see it just happen over and over and over and over again. That's not accidental when you see that. They ain't accidental.
Fear that we've already struck in them by this momentum that we've got going with over $80 million raised in 24 hours. And brothers, we are all putting our money in Atlanta. We got our money train coming. We are definitely going to show up big with our support. So let's go out there and do our thing. Yes, I'm a Kappa man. Yes, Roland, you're alphas, and everybody else. We're calling out our organizations. We come together just like I was working for Warnock to help the Divine Nine be able to put him over the finish line when he ran in that historic election. And just like Joe Biden, we all work very hard to be able to get.
Yeah, I mean, they used to hide it. They used to not say there was Boule. They used to not say Divine Nine. Now they feel like a little bit emboldened now. They're like, okay, can we come out the closet with it? I'm like, hey, you fly your colors openly. I'd rather have you do that. Fly your colors openly. That'd be good for me. I appreciate that. Just go ahead and put it on the bricks and just say it out loud. Go ahead and put it up front so we don't have to wonder about what's going on. That works for me just fine.
More than $16 billion this administration has already invested in HBCUs. The list goes on and on and on, but I promised you I would be brief. And so I'm going to keep my word. Let's make this happen. History is watching us, and the future is waiting on us. The time is now.
All right, Frank, I appreciate that so very much. Let's go to the Speaker of the House in Virginia, Don Scott. Don, from my chapter at Texas A&M, my alpha brother, just elected Speaker of the House. We made it happen, helping him. Don, go.
Thank you, man. Thank y'all all for the...
Yeah, folks, if you want to know why it is we can't get nothing done for the masses, that's because these are the folks that the Democrat Party keeps choosing. Individuals who are there for individual personal benefits and personal privileges, not privileges for the masses. That's why I keep pointing out to you, yeah, there's a point of commonality between them. There's a point of relation, but it isn't blackness. That's the point I'm making. Yeah, there are dimensions of commonality between them, but blackness isn't the one. That's not it. That isn't it. That's not what motivates them. That's not what drives them. That's not what they're getting together for. And you're sorely mistaken if you're under the impression that maybe it is. No, it's not. Not at all. Let's play another one.
And I know some of our mutual friends have shared some real bad stuff in the last couple of days that is completely wrong, out of line, and out of place. We have to correct that. We do have to pull brothers to the side and tell them that we have to show up because she has shown up for us. Nobody is going to show up like.
Okay, I forgot about this here. Let me go ahead and
put
play
it in context. My race came down to 1%. There are a number of reasons. There are a lot of folks who had the means to get involved in this race, but decided before I even got in, or at the time I got in, that my race wasn't winnable for whatever imaginable reason. I'll let you take your guesses. But there are going to be so many people that think that this race in November is not winnable for the same exact reasons. And for those folks who have the means that will not show up for Kamala Harris in the way that they would have shown up for somebody else, we have to step up as black men and fill in the gap. She has been there for us. And I can tell you right now, 4 years ago,
she's been there for us. How? They just say this garbage. Been there for us. How? These niggas just say stuff. She been there for us. You mean she's been in the United States? Because you can't tell us a damn thing she's done for black people. So who is the us? I guess there's the issue is we're assuming he means black people. Who's the us, fella? Who's the us? Who's the us you're referring to? Other than you damn fraternities.
She wasn't my number one choice. I was not all in for Kamala Harris, but right now, today, for November 2024, I could not be more in for Kamala Harris to make sure that she's the next president of the United States. So we got to show up like never before. But the folks on this call, we get it. We understand. And I know for sure, because I know some folks who've already texted me, and I've seen some group chats, and I know some of us have some mutual friends, and I know some of our mutual friends have shared some real bad stuff in the last couple of days that is completely wrong, out of line, and out of place. We have to correct that. We do have to pull brothers to the side and tell them that we have to show up because she has shown up for us. Nobody is going to show up like
she's shown up for us. Folks, what the hell is he talking about? Who is the us that she's shown up for that he's referring to? What the hell is he talking about?
As I can guarantee you, it's not a single thing that Donald Trump has done in the 4 years that he had a chance to do something for us. So, brothers, thank you so much. I am here representing Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, Gamma Phi Chapter, Alabama A&M, Spring 2005.
There you go. Once again, just down the line, if you want to know why our political class has been completely useless, once again, let's go ahead and get another one here. Oh, I mean, we could do this all night, folks, actually.
Speakers that have been on tonight and will continue to be on. We are one and we will win. Listen, I often say that far too few of us in this space.
Come on, Doc.
That we cannot afford to be against each other. There are far too few of us in this space that we can afford to hate on each other. There are far too few of us in this space. We must stand together, and we have to spend more time talking to each other and less time talking about each other.
All right.
God bless you, brothers. We're in this battle together, and guess what? We're going to win. God bless you all.
All right. Appreciate it, Congressman. Normally, I don't let no Kappas talk for 5 minutes and 10 seconds. So, I mean, I'm Jesus working on me. So I'm just giving y'all a little grace. All right. We appreciate it, sir.
So y'all see what they're on. You all can see what they're on. Now, what I want to do here, I'm going to back up a little bit, and I want to show you what it, by the way, was that Benjamin Crump we saw sitting, I'll be damned. Damn!
Going back to the days after Trayvon, when I handled a police case out in California, and she was their attorney general, and even though we were against one another, we had such healthy respect, and she really showed me and demonstrated to me that she cares about our people passionately. And so
you are against each other. Excuse me, sir, that needs some explanation, doesn't it? We were against each other. Why? Because she was supporting the police and you were trying to support the victims? We need more details.
So what we have to do, brothers and sisters, is protect her. We have to protect her from all of those who
has she protected us?
Who are going to try to attack her because of racism, sexism, classism.
Okay, Brother Crump, sir, stay away from the letter S altogether. What? Just in your vocabulary, choose words that don't have the letter S. Stay away from plurals. Just stay away from the letter S altogether. It's just, trust me, your public speaking is going to go a lot better. Just swerve around the S's. Just as soon as you see an S coming, let me jump to the side. Let me limbo. Let me go down. It's just avoid that letter S, brother. I don't think it's ever going to get better. I don't think it's ever going to improve. So my recommendation is stay away from the doctor's orders, my doctor's prescription, stay away from that letter S just altogether. I don't think you can circumnavigate it. I mean, maybe you can circumnavigate it because you damn sure can't navigate it. So stay away from it. I know you're very tempted to try. It's like, how hard could it be? Oh, trust me, it's hard. It's going to be hard as hell for you. So hard as hell for you. All right, now I want to play this right here. By the way, once again, fair use. Roland, I'm lighting you up, but fair use. I want to play this. And I want you to listen for a few moments. And there is a few moments. And I want you to hear what it requires of you and what is required of you if you are going to fit in with these people. Now, you all know, we've all seen for the last 4 decades of Joe Biden and for the last 5 years of Kamala Harris. You know what they've done. You know what they haven't done. And I want you to hear this next clip. I'm going to play this in its entirety. I want you to hear all of this and just listen to this is what you have to do and have to tolerate and have to accept if you're going to be able to roll with these folks.
President campaign. Trey, you on the clock.
My man Roland, thank you so much. I want to thank all the organizers, Mike Blake, Quentin James, Khalil, Bakari. Brothers, this is a powerful moment that we're in right now. To have us all together, this is like one big barbershop. The alphas are acting up, but we got enough noobs here to clear all of that nonsense up. I want to tell you, this is day one of the Harris for President campaign. She has done so much today. She has gone to headquarters and she's laid out a clear contrast between her and the other guy. She laid out the contrast of the prosecutor versus the criminal. She laid out the contrast of a champion for reproductive rights versus someone who is proud to have done away with Roe versus Wade. She laid out the contrast of a fierce ally of the middle class versus somebody who's into billionaires and tax cuts for those billionaires. And she got the handoff from Joe Biden, who's going to go down as the most consequential president of our lifetime.
I mean, do you all hear this? Do you hear this? Joe Biden's going to go down as the most consequential president of our lifetime. Do you hear this? Folks, I mean, he is putting hickeys on these old white men's butt cheeks. I mean, he is putting straight hickeys on them.
This is like one big barbershop. The alphas are acting up, but we got enough noobs here to clear all of that nonsense up. I want to tell you, this is day one of the Harris for President campaign. She has done so much today. She has gone to headquarters and she's laid out a clear contrast between her and the other guy. She laid out the contrast of the prosecutor versus the criminal. She laid out the contrast of a champion for reproductive rights versus someone who is proud to have done away with Roe versus Wade. She laid out the contrast of a fierce ally of the middle class versus somebody who's into billionaires and tax cuts for those billionaires. And she got the handoff from Joe Biden, who's going to go down as the most consequential president of our lifetime, who appointed this black woman as vice president, who appointed the first black woman Supreme Court justice. And we just appreciate this handoff to this next generation. In one day, she's raised over $81 million. 880,000 new grassroots donors, 28,000 new individual volunteers have come up. So the momentum is here. We are pushing it. People are excited and ready to go. And so what I want to do is draw your attention to the link should be coming up, or the link should be up for you to click on. It's very straightforward.
Yeah. That's who you have to be. What the hell did he name one thing that's benefited black people? One. That's all he can name is the same old standard stuff, which I told you all 4 years ago that when we get to 2024, they're going to tell you student loans, Ketanji Brown Jackson, Juneteenth. That's what they've done for us. They're going to tell you that that's what they've done for us. Let's go a little bit further. Jason, how much of this did you sit up here and rip out of here? Man, y'all don't even want to know. It was torment on me, believe me. Y'all don't even want to know. It was hard on me. We got another one up here, though. Listen to this dude.
That's going to help Harris president and black men groups. But we could say that we were in the number on July 22nd, 2020. We were on the call when a black woman became the first black woman to be the nominee for the Democratic Party to become president. We should.
Yeah, she first black woman. According to whom? According to her? Well, I'm black when I'm not Asian. Well, I'm Asian when I'm not black. I don't play that game. I'm like, okay, you Asian? Okay, over here, ma'am, Asian. There you go. No hate. You're Asian. No. You don't get to double dip. You don't get to play that little old code switching game. No double dipping this. Okay, you're Asian. Go rep the Asian set. You ride in the Asian car. You're Asian. You don't play this game where you black when convenient. No. The black when convenient era is over. You black or you're not. Okay, I'm black. Well, sometimes I'm not. Okay, well, then never. That's all right. That's all right. If you are afraid to stand in front of Asians and represent black people, I'm like, you know what? You're not the right person for this. Let's get somebody who can. Period. If you cannot stand in front of Asians and tell them I am a black woman and let it be what it's going to be, then we don't need you to speak. I don't want anybody trying to speak for me who isn't actually speaking for me. I'm not black when convenient. I'm black all day, every night, all the time. There are no hyphens. There are no prefixes or suffixes. It's black, period. And I don't need anybody using that word, holding that word, who holds it in conjunction with something else. I'm not black and something else. And I'm not black when I'm not something else. Don't you dare use that word and tell me you're going to represent me. I don't see how you can represent me on the damn thing except being a coward. And I'm not trying to be cowardly. So we ain't really got nothing to talk about. We damn sure don't have anything you can represent me on. We ain't got nothing to talk about. For real. Ain't nothing for us to speak about. Go on over there with the Asians and go rep your Asian ass off. That's what you do. But I want to go a little further with it here now. Want to go a little bit further with it. Because there is something I do want to point out. Boy, don't it look like he getting ready to raise up a big old ham hock? Look like he getting ready to go, like he getting ready to pick up a whole big prime rib. No fork, no knife, no utensils, just dig right in.
Cookie! Nom, 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 oh, nom, 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 nom.
There is something I do want to say right now, and this is in my opinion, apropos moment to say it, though some people may not like when I get done saying this. We talked about tetherism all this time. Folks have talked about that. But I want you all to understand this domestic tetherism thing is serious. You want to know what the real problem is with the divine, not so divine nine and the feminists? You know what the real issue with that is? The real issue is that in their minds, they are the domestic tethers. They don't see themselves as black. That's the whole issue. They don't see themselves as black. They're not black in their world. They are black as a political designation. Just like Barack Obama. When Barack Obama called himself black, that was a political designation. Not an incidental characteristic and a socioeconomic genetic identification. That's a political classification for him. So when you see these folks who identify themselves as these frat members and fraternities, I want y'all to understand they see themselves as a separate government. They see themselves as a separate and distinct group that is somehow bilingual. Please understand that that's their perspective on this, is that they are bilingual. And that you are one of the misled little darkies that they talk to. But they see themselves as separate and apart from us which is why we don't see or hear from none of these niggas when real issues drop. We don't see or hear from none of them when it's time to take the hard line. We don't hear from none of them. They can't show you their works and their statements in that regard. They can't do that. So I want you all to understand that there's a whole bunch of people here. Folks, when you come to me with the fraternity thing, the sorority thing, the feminist thing, what you're telling me is that you are a member of a separate government, a member of a separate society, that you're the domestic tethers, that you only use that word black because you think that it has some meaning to us that you can sit up here and jump on the bandwagon for when you come in our presence, but really you just trying to use it. And I don't have any room for you. I don't have any room for you. When you talk about the folks who contributed to this thing, when you talk about the people who contributed to this thing, I want y'all to understand they're not with us. Oh, I'm going here tonight. They're not with us. They're doing this so they can sit up here and brag to somebody on Twitter, because that's why they got that hashtag, so they can go brag on Twitter and get some cast off hood rat sorority sex somewhere by claiming that they with black women, by grabbing a woman who isn't with black women or anybody else for that matter. So that's their motive for doing that. Folks, they have delineated themselves. They see themselves as above us. Tell me, what does your fraternity, how does that benefit me? How does that benefit the soil? How does that benefit the people? That's an individual accolade. What does that do for the people? These niggas get together and they do this kind of stuff and they want their profile. That's why they all wanted their faces to be seen, so that if Kamala Harris gets elected, then all these niggas you see on here gonna jump up and talk about, see Kamala, remember me? See Kamala, remember me? I ain't gonna play that damn game. These other folk ain't got to do that with her. Joe Biden and none of the rest of them, they know who the hell on their damn team. They also know they haven't done anything for us. And they don't need us to remind them. They don't need us to remind them. Now I want to talk about the financial aspect of this tonight. I want you all to watch this program, and there's a reason why I went into withering detail here over the course of the last hour to bring all the invoices. There's a reason why I did that. It's been essential that I bring you all the invoices because I want you to see what the hell's going on in this regard, that these folk can make money move when they want to. But it's kind of hard to make money move when you're sitting up trying to style and profile and do as little as you can. So you see the spotlight was a little bit too bright this time, so they had to go ahead and jump in there and do something. But I want y'all to understand, that's the counter movement that we see. This is the counter movement we see. In that Yahoo article, they're talking about over 17,000 people, they claim, were on that call. Over 17,000. That's not nothing to sneeze at. 17,000 donors. So 53,000 people registered for that call, that video call, and 17,000 were donors. That's for real. I want you to know that that's how dedicated to undermining us these people are. Damn! Do you get that? That's how dedicated to undermining us they are. When we were out there in the streets for George Floyd, Roland Martin wasn't nowhere to be found. I sat up here and dug in my own damn pocket, bailing folk out of jail. None of these Hollywood niggas were doing that. Where the hell was Wes Moore? Haley Barber? Ben Crump? Where the hell were they when we were bailing folk out of jail? That was the hat that I was passing that year. Passing that hat. I didn't see none of these noops and kappas and alphas and asshats doing nothing. I ain't found none of y'all. I got my receipts. I got my invoices. Y'all saw me bring people on who said Jason bailed me out of jail. They had me held on bond. Jason across the damn country, all over the damn place, bailing folk out. Hey, let me get a hold of a bondsman. Hey, get that fella up out of there. Get him out. I got my invoices. I've been frontline. I've been in the trenches. I can show you what the work I put in. Year after year, the damn dirty work, the controversial stuff that Kamala Harris wouldn't want her fingerprints on. While you talking about she been there for us? How many people during the George Floyd protest did she prosecute, I wonder? I don't know where the hell they were. I know where the hell I was. People, I don't know what tomorrow's gonna bring. I don't know what tomorrow is gonna send to us. But what I'm telling you is that I cannot compromise. I can't do it. I can't compromise. I got to call it like it is. I gotta say it like it is. And if that rubs the Hollywood set the wrong way, and if it turns out that one day I could have called, if there's folk who didn't answer the phone for me because they didn't like something that they heard me say, then folks, I got to hold that. And I'm going to hold it proudly. If me speaking unapologetically on behalf of the people rubs you the wrong damn way, and you won't return a phone call or answer an email because I'm persona non grata, because Monique Presley or Bakari Sellers or Wes Moore or any damn body else told you that, oh, don't fool with this fella here. Look here, I've been carrying that weight for decades. Let it be what it's gonna be. I'm not some groupie ass nigga. What? I'm not some groupie ass nigga.
And deal with it, nigga.
I'm not some groupie ass nigga looking to get on. I'm not looking for a record deal. I'm not looking for a movie deal. Yeah, I would love to have more folks see the films we make and the work we do. But if it's going to cost me having to sell it out, the whole reason why I financed this stuff myself was so I wouldn't have to water it down and change it. So yeah, we might do it on a smaller level, but we're producing it ourselves. So if I got to do that the rest of my damn life, so be it. I'm cool with that. I would rather finance it the rest of my life and get the job done than have y'all bring your big money and then rewrite everything and tell me you can't say this and you can't say that and have me walking on eggshells. Oh, you got to worry about saying this and worry about saying that. How about I just get you up out the damn frame and say it the way I need to say it? How about that? We straight from the underground here. Ain't gonna be no gubernatorial candidates on my program if I got to sell my soul for it.
And deal with it, nigga.
It is what it is. People, I'm not desperate to have big names around me. You seen big names around me. I'm not desperate for that. I've been talked to them folk and spoke to them and this, that, and the other. Okay, I'm not looking for new friends and new playmates and new buddies. I've done something over here for me. What we gonna do for the people? What are we gonna do for the people? And if me standing firm about who doing something for the people and who isn't, if that rubs you the wrong way, if I can't get the phone calls answered, if it doesn't open doors, or if it closes doors that were already opened, so be it. So be it. My soul's not for sale. It's not for rent. It's not for lease. Go call them other niggas over there. They'll answer for you after you finish pimping them out. They'll answer. When we talk about delineation, people, what I'm saying is that when I said reparations, I always talk about reparations across the board, which means that reparations requires a check. A check is required. Cutting the check is required, but that's not where it stops. Which is what you all know when Jason Black said reparations across the board. Oh, you got to cut the check, but that's not the only thing you're gonna do. That's not it. Well, folks, when we talk about delineation, we got to have delineation across the board. And everybody who wants to get out there and delineate themselves from us and sit up here and proudly demonstrate that they're members of separate groups. Let me explain something to you right here. I've never sat up here and tried to stand on my accolades, stand on a degree, stand on an organization, stand on nothing. I've never tried to do that because you might not be members of that, but there's one group that we're all members of, the Black Squad. And I stand on that. Everything else is ancillary. Look it up. Everything else is extra. All of us can agree or should be able to agree on the black thing. That's where we have our point of commonality. That's also why we are targeted. And all of us can and should stand on that unapologetically. And when you have Hollywood celebrities and everybody else so nakedly making it clear that they want us to do something other than stand on blackness, you need to do something else. That's a problem. So I want y'all to see what happens. Now, when I open up the phone lines here in a minute, some of y'all who are members of the fraternities and members of the sororities, I want us to talk some real talk for a minute here. That this is what goes on when them niggas get together. That's why the damn line dancing and the stomping and the Q-dogging, that don't carry no weight over here. Because this is what you niggas do when y'all get together. This is why nothing gets done. Yeah, y'all get together. You can raise $1 million in an hour. It takes us over here in the new black media. This is something I want to say to all of y'all. It takes us a whole lot longer time to be able to do that kind of thing. Shout out to my man Cornell Sly. Shout out to Nancy King, Pamela, Andrea, Black Voltron, everybody else here who supports it and holds it down. Let me just be very clear about that. Black Project Leroy gifting people, Cyberdyne. Let me be very, very clear. For all my folks who hold it down and hold it down on the regular. My man, Mr. Rich Berg, everybody who holds down on the regular. Salute to all of y'all, all the time, every time. I see it. I notice it. You know I know it. Your credentials are platinum plated. Can't nobody question it. But I want y'all to understand something. We got 5,000 people sitting in this room right now. 5,000. Roland was able to get 17,000 people to contribute over there for their bull jive for Kamala Harris. I want you to think about that for a few moments. We don't have any friends. And this is what we're up against. These folks are funding themselves to a degree. And within an hour or two, they can raise $1 million. They'll do it so they can go showboat for some white politicians in Washington, hoping that somebody saw them. And I want y'all to understand, this is why when we do our stuff here, man, we got to be on our damn square. We got to be on ours. This is how this is how these niggas show up to fund the very people undermining us. Think about that for a few moments. So they get their big Hollywood positions, they get their little movie jobs, they get their little record deals, and this is what they do with their money. And I'm talking about within an hour. You think that's not being on code? Damn! I want y'all to understand that's being on code right there. That's being on code. That is on code. Please understand that. On code is when they sat up here and lit the damn lights up in just a couple of hours. They went 7 figures within a couple of hours. That's on code. Okay, but they're on code against us. They're on code against us. That's the issue. That's the issue that we have. They're on code against us and they moving the money there. So when we get together, I want y'all to understand what that means. I want y'all to understand what that means. That we are not serious if we don't move them dollars like that. We're not serious. The good news is, they had 17,000 donors and we got a third of that number of people watching right now. But folks, I want you to realize that if we sit up here and be quiet, you be spectators, you're sitting back, you're watching, them folks over there are moving some money. They are motivated. And they want to show up with Kamala Harris with some real funds. They want to show up for Kamala Harris for some real funds. And I got to say it like it is. Yeah, they succeeded at that. They succeeded at that, folks. When the Democrats do their Hollywood fundraisers and whatnot, they don't just raise hundreds of thousands, they raise millions. So they raise hundreds of thousands. Let me rephrase that. They do raise hundreds of thousands, but the stuff that really registers is when they raise millions. That's why Roland Martin was sitting here beating the damn drum and beating the table on this as much as he could. Because, raising $1 million for Kamala, she recognized that. She recognized that. Okay, in the chat room, Not Easily Fooled said, we don't have disposable income. Let me just say right now, I ain't got no room for that. I got no room for that. We need reparations because we don't have economic parity with these other people. So in proportional comparative terms, as Dr. Claude Anderson said, we way behind. But I don't want to hear about what we ain't got. I don't want to hear about what we ain't got. Most of you in here sitting right now got an overpriced ass iPhone that you're listening to the program on. Don't tell me about what you don't have. You don't have it after you pay for the things you really want. You don't have it after you pay for the stuff you really want. You paying for what you want, you breaking the bank for what you want, and then you begging and making excuses for what you need. There's the issue that we have. It's not that we don't have disposable income. We sit up here and start lacking a disposable code. These other folks don't play around. When it comes to Israel, that's where the money goes. When it comes to Palestine, that's where the money goes. The difference between us and them is these other folks don't make them kind of excuses. If they got an extra 20, it goes on it. Extra 50, it goes on it. They're showing you this is what we believe in. The folks who contributed to support Kyle Rittenhouse, they're showing you this is what we live for. We believe in this. We believe in this. And when you see these people jump up on a random weekend in a random July, I'm talking about you didn't have any notice that was coming. They jumped up at random. You called them on a random Tuesday and said, hey, let's raise $1 million. And they jumped at it. I want intelligent black society and B1 society to recognize this is what we're up against. They tell you and me when we walk up in front of Kamala Harris, economics don't matter. But when they want to approach her, the only thing they bring in is dollars. That's it. They're not bringing anything else. And it didn't take them a month to do it.
Ain't it, nigga.
I got to call it like it is. It didn't take them a month to do it. And just imagine what that means. Imagine what that means. That's what they're doing now on a random Tuesday. They're dedicated to this. They 10 toes down for it. They truly believe in this. Maybe they didn't dedicate millions individually. I understand that. But what I'm saying is, by the way, they all jumped to attention at a moment's notice when they were called for a woman who don't even identify as us. Doesn't even identify as us. That's your Hollywood set. That's your fraternity set. Those are your academics. That's your political class. So I want to make this clear to everybody listening here tonight. The reason why the Black Channel was set up is because our core mission has always been about Black economics, because they hate us because we're Black, but they can penalize us because we're poor. They can penalize us for being poor. And so for everybody here listening, I want you to recognize this ain't no damn joke. When you see them do something like that, can raise $1 million in a couple of hours, and we scrapping and throwing twos and fews. Folks, get your damn credit together. Stop bull jiving. Stop playing around with your money. You need to have savings in the bank. You got disposable income if you have to take out a second job. These other folks up here, this is how serious it is. This pole mouth situation with your lips poked out, they ain't gonna make it. And then you get together with 2 other people. I did my film Gentrified, probably the most underrated of my documentary films, which if I ever touch that subject again, it won't be a singular movie. I'll just put it like that. In my opinion, I think that's one of the most underrated subjects is gentrification, because I gave you solutions about what to do. Those of you who showed up in New York City and talked to Catherine Willie Suggs, and the woman sat there and laid out the game to you about what to do. Most people didn't move on it. But by the way, she let you know, by the way, you know, when these immigrants come over here, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 of them get together and sign on the damn mortgage. They get 3 or 4 or 5 of them to sign on the damn mortgage. Next thing you know, multi-unit dwelling. When they show up on YouTube, they just send one guy. But when you look at the paperwork, it's got 5, 6 names on it. Well, there you go. And what I'm saying is that we get together as a group here. When somebody want to come take some broad to the motel, the hotel, the Holiday Inn, they got money. When she wants an Uber so she can go over to somebody's place and go lay up, y'all got the money then. When it's time to turn up and get smoked up, you got the money then. We sit up here and talk about these folks trying to annihilate us, and all of a sudden, I don't know about that there, brother. Pockets on flat, bro. I'll catch you on payday, bro. And meanwhile, these other people, payday is every day. They can catch you anytime. Anytime. So I'm not putting out a call for me tonight. Let me be very, very clear. Economics has always mattered here. It is the core of what we do here. But I'm talking to everybody else here right now. Everyone within the sound of my voice. You need to have 1 year's income saved in the bank. 1 year of your income needs to be saved in the bank as cash. You need to have an 800 credit score. I've done programs about credit. I've done credit card workshops. I still do it to this day. I've advised people, the folks who listen, they got that. The ones who didn't know, they're making excuses. Folks, let me just explain to you. Our opposition is funded. Our opposition got that. Everything I just said, the opposition got that. You want to know where you're supposed to be? That's where you're supposed to be at. If your money is not where it needs to be, that's probably because you don't have a skill. sitting up here being an entry-level employee, that's not going to make it. Being an entry-level employee is not going to make it. We got to be skilled workers. We got to be skilled people. We have to have a skill that we can have in our pocket and credentials in our pocket that no matter what anybody does anywhere, we can pick it up and take it somewhere else, and we're not making no minimum wage. These other folks, that's why they lean on these damn fraternities and these schools and institutions so much. Those places make sure they stay good. We have to make sure that that's where we at. This is why when we get together in a group, that's when it becomes non-potent. You can't have a bunch of weak, poor people getting together in a group because all they can really do is complain about the situation. Yeah, but they can't fix it. They can complain about it, but they can't fix it. That's the difference. And then, see, we are supposed to be different because here's the difference between us and the so-called Divine Nine. Them niggas only get together when there's some glad-handing, egotistical agenda at work, but otherwise they don't help each other do a damn thing. Otherwise it's every man for himself. That's the difference. We have an opportunity to be different, but you have to have like-minded people. So you're gonna have to be folks who got something together here. Every time, you can't get together every damn time talking about what you aspire to do. At what point do you present results? You want to make a movie, you want to make a school, you want to make this, you want to make that. At what point do you move beyond aspiring to do it and you've actually achieved it and then we move on to the next thing? At what point does that happen? That is not just eternally spinning your wheels. We got folk in here right now, and it's never a perfect, fantastic situation, but I got real estate people in here right now, listening to me right now. We got real estate folk in here right now. The problem is I've been behind this microphone now for 15 years strong and growing. And what I'm saying is 15 damn years, really it doesn't take 15. It really takes 1 to 3 years to have your finances straight. It takes forever if you partying and bull jiving. Yeah, it takes forever if you partying and bull jiving. But let's just keep it real. I've got folk in here who do real estate. I got folk in here who do banking. I got people in here who worked in that. Man, look here. And I'm from Louisiana. I'm not even in a major market. I got a bunch of niggas in here. Y'all live in New York. Y'all live in Dallas. Y'all live in Atlanta. And you're watching everybody else. You sitting there watching them. Let me say something that's going to upset a whole bunch of folk right now, but I got to tell it like it is. Say what you want to about Kamala Harris and how she got where she is today, being light-skinned and getting a leg up. Say what you want to. I'm going to say this right now. Oh, I'm about to upset a lot. I told you I was going to upset a lot of people tonight here. To the ladies here, Kamala Harris wrapped them vanilla thighs around a nigga that could do something for her.
And deal with it, nigga.
If that upsets you, so be it. To the boule people who want me to say something, give her a compliment. That's as close as I can get. Kamala Harris, say what you want to. She wrapped them legs around some niggas that could do something for her. And she kept them wrapped around them till she found the next nigga that could do something for her. And now she's looking at the damn White House. Hey, run the game, don't let the game run you. Make the money, don't let the money make you. You want to talk about being ahead of the game? say whatever you want to about her. One more thing you got to say. She hustled them draws all the way to the White House. You talking about getting a PhD. And Kamala Harris has done hustled them draws to 1600 Pennsylvania Ave. Oh, I'm going to upset a lot of folk tonight. Jason, are you saying that's what I need to do? I'm just saying, do you want to be a winner? Damn! Whole bunch of females in here listen to me right now, baby. You got a body count full of Pookies, Ray Rays, Mike, Lil Slug, a nigga that didn't do nothing for you except get you a burrito from Poco Loco. The one time he had the money for it. You've been paying for your own damn Ubers. There's some dudes in here who got real estate licenses, do real estate, they doing their thing. You sitting up here looking for Idris Elba ain't gonna answer no damn phones. I'm talking about if you're gonna work together with somebody who can do something for you. I'm just saying, that's what Kamala did. And the rest of them hoes from them sororities, well, can't say the rest of them, some of them. But I'm just calling it what it is. Because there were some females right now sitting up here saying, as soon as I said that, there's some bigger things you can do. Ooh, I ain't got nobody to work with theirs. Okay, who is the nigga laying next to you in bed right now? Oh, well, I really like him. How much disposable income does he have? Oh, none. I paid for the Xbox. Heifer, please.
Nigga, please.
Ho, please. You laying up with a nigga you like. You got kids with a nigga you like. Then when these other folks are moving on us, he can't do a damn thing and neither can you. But you was somebody you like. Kamala Harris, a little old afflicted ass, awkward ass mixed chick. That's why she's married to Doug. Okay, she got somebody her speed. All right, but back during the day when she was at the height of her sexual marketplace value, she was laying up with downtown Willie Brown. She was laying up with somebody who could do something and didn't give a damn that he was married. Oh yeah, one more thing. Didn't give a damn he was married. And some of you chicks up in here got some married men on your body count rap sheet.
Auntie, chill.
Let's just keep that for real. Some of you women in here listening to me right now, you got some married men on your body count rap sheet. The only difference is when she got finished, that last time she got out the bed with Willie Brown, she had a whole new position in life. Last time you got out the bed with that married man, he left you back at your apartment. Some of you are terrible judges of talent. Oh, you're awful coaches. You draft niggas to the team, ain't got no damn business being there. And then coming back with your damn sob stories. Just thought I'd point that out. Okay, you say Willie Brown made Kamala get down. Yeah, but she also got to come up.
And deal with it, nigga.
One more thing. After she got down, she came up. We're literally sitting here tonight talking about, oh my goodness, are we going to have to call her President Kamala Harris? That's literally what we're staring down the barrel of right now. You could learn a lot from a dummy or a thought. You can learn a lot from a thought. You can learn a lot from a thought. Public service announcement. So what I'm saying is, folks in here tonight, I know this is not the pep talk you thought it was going to be. I have a whole bunch of black men in here. I have a whole bunch of black women in here. Collaboration is not working so great. Niggas can get together to make each other's toes curl and strip each other down like it's Magic City. And yet when it's time to build something here and get together and say, hey, what can you and me do to take our net worth from 100,000 to 1 million? What can we do? And it needs to be that. These fraternities and sororities don't do nothing except get together and brag about their job position. The rest of us need to be on a different type of time. We need to be on a different type of time. All this talk about what you don't have, and what you can't do, and what you didn't do, and man, look here, we ain't got no time for that. The excuse making, we don't have any time for that. We have no time for sitting around making excuses. You've been listening to me for a decade and a half and still telling me what you don't have. How in the hell does that occur? You've been listening to me for a decade and a half, and Wes Moore wasn't a thing a decade and a half ago. He is now. Will Packer wasn't on a decade and a half ago. He is now. So all this twos and fusing in here and complaining and talking about what you don't have and, oh, man, I don't know if I can make that happen, bro. Okay. These other folks, this is what they own. This is what they're doing. I'm going to tell everyone in here listening right now, the day and the age of excuses is over. All the excuse making, man, I ain't hearing it. I'm not hearing it. I'm not hearing it. To the ladies, sometimes y'all struggle with what I say. It can be rough on your ears, but I'm telling the damn truth. Take a look at that dude you laying next to. Take a look at him. You tell me, is he on code? Where's he going? Where's he at? Some of you women listening to me right now, your financial situation, your socioeconomic situation for the last 10 years has been exactly the damn same. You've been with the same fella for 10 years. Take a look at what's going on. Do you have a rocket booster on your back taking you to new places? Or do you have a cinder block around your neck? And are you sitting there making excuses for it? And to the fellas up in here, I got to talk to the fellas for a minute. To the fellas, okay, I know you was real happy about what I was saying about the ladies here. Fellas, no, I got to put this on your ass. I don't want to hear about what you ain't got. When a nigga wants to go and grip some butt cheeks, he gets all the damn money in the world.
And deal with it, nigga.
Nigga, please. When y'all want some ass, don't nothing stop you. I don't give a damn if your pocket's on flat. If that broad send you a damn picture with her butt cheeks poked out, that nigga and if it's a $50 Uber ride, he gonna find $50. He don't even know how he gonna get back. My niggas up there in New York City, y'all know damn well. Niggas live in Harlem. How much does it cost to get you an Uber to JFK or LaGuardia? There ain't no cheap ride. If you live in Washington Heights and you need to get you a Uber or a ride out to LaGuardia to go pick old girl up, you know what the hell going on. You know what the hell going on. Oh, damn, Jason is throwing them receipts out there. Oh, he gonna find that. Now, when it comes time to pick some hoes up, you niggas got money for that. It's too many damn bastard kids and STDs running around New York. Nobody makes excuses for that. They don't bring nothing but money and results. The weed game is popping all over LA. Don't tell me about what you don't have. Niggas make excuses when we show up talking about something serious. That got to die. You can't sit up here and come making up excuses every time we talk about something serious. Then some scallywag from OnlyFans pops up in your damn DMs and makes $4. Oh, man. Man. Oh, lift up this couch cushion. Oh, damn. Oh, hell. Sexy blue in my DMs. Oh man, what I got to do here is, oh man, sexy blue in my DMs. Damn. Oh, what am I gonna do here? Where's she at there? Sexy blue in my DMs. Oh man, it turns to that. It turns to that. When sexy blue show up, Mariah Mills show up in the nigga DMs. Next thing he got as much money as he needs. Telling you he doesn't have capital for this, he doesn't have capital for that. Let Mariah Mills show up and I'll be damned. This nigga's out of excuses. None. He's like, where's she at? I need to go ahead and call her up. Where's she at? I need to make sure we call her for that. Where's she at for that? Just saying. I'm going to stop with the sound effects. Just letting y'all know, by the way, folks are good for that. Niggas make money for what they want. Something show up in their DMs, unlimited budget. Something show up on Uber, unlimited budget. They want some weed, they want some drink, they want some Netflix, unlimited budget. I sit up here and say, hey, by the way, do you see how these people are winning the economics on the financial arms race over here? And they're targeting us. Oh man, you know, we ain't really got it like that. Jason ain't really got it like that. Okay, tell me how the hell Uber is as big as it is. I've been to New York City many a moon. Just came back a couple of months ago. Just came back from New York a couple of months ago. Half the Ubers got Negroes in them. It is what it is. But then when I show up, oh, Jason, you understand, man, we struggling out here. He's half of him. Okay. All right. Famous last words. Let that be what it's going to be. Everybody got an excuse. I just want you to understand, these folks ain't playing. They're not playing. Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, they have already shown you what the hell they going to do to us. Our counteroffensive cannot just be political. We talk about gentrification. We talk about those things. That only goes so far. I haven't asked anything in the chat room. They paying $1,100, not just $1,000, $1,100 to sit up here and take some hoe pictures with Chris Brown. They come up with the females. I'm talking about young females. Oh, I'm about to hurt your damn feelings. The young females. The young females cough up $1,100. Y'all seen some of them do it multiple times. They follow this nigga around so they can get more than one picture. Multiple times taking pictures with Chris Brown. $1,100 a pop. Young females. Some of y'all probably sitting in here. And will be the first ones to tell you about what she ain't got. When you talk about something to invest and something substantive in an investment in her future, she will immediately turn around and tell you she ain't got it. She ain't got that. Heifer, you had $1,100 for Chris Brown, a multimillionaire. Chris Brown's a multimillionaire. You got $1,100 for him? So he can go spend it on Sweetie. And then come to us pleading poverty. No, don't be in my chat room with that. Folks, you know I have been off of that train for a while. I don't listen to anybody talk about what we don't have. I know what we got. I've looked around and I know what we got. No, we are not where we need to be. But then again, that's nothing new. Don't tell me what we ain't got when I'm sitting up here looking around at it. Niggas come up with what they want to come up for. Okay, Kamala Harris's people want to come up with enough money to lock in the immigrant agenda and every damn thing else. They want to come up with enough money for that, and they're doing it. Oh, yeah, and by the way, they're doing it. So you can go ahead and make excuses for that. I'm just letting you know, I'm not hearing it. I'm not hearing it at all. And these other folks over here, They're not hearing that neither. They getting together, they smiling, they showing their rings, they talking about their fraternities and their organizations, and all they doing is plotting against us and how they're going to neutralize us. And what I'm telling you is you don't want to hear this right now, but when you see things like what just happened, they could raise $1 million within a couple of hours for Kamala Harris, who ain't going to do a damn thing for us. My point here is the bad guys are winning. What? And I know you don't want to hear that. But I just wanted to point out for you that I'm doing math right now. When it comes to that economics thing and being on code, they just flexed. They just flexed. I wish folks would stop asking silly questions like where the money actually come from. It came from their pockets. Let's stop being in denial. Oh, the money ain't real. Yes, it is. Stop it. That doesn't help anything. Sitting up here trying to be in denial is obvious reality. It is what it is. We got to concede what the hell it is. They didn't want to give that money to Roland, but they will give it to Kamala Harris. So when you start stacking it up dollar for dollar, the bottom line is them folks are winning. They're winning. When they can get on code like that within a couple of hours, that's the definition of winning. And if we're going to be in the game, we are not serious contenders until we start making things look like that. So to everyone listening here tonight, I want to send a brutal reminder. There are times to remind you all about what the hell we really supposed to be on and what we need to concentrate on and the level of dedication that we need to have. I'm serious about that. I don't say those things because it sounds cute. I say it because it's real. Those of y'all who watch television shows like Game of Thrones, what's the first thing Euron Greyjoy did when he returned? He said, I want every man, woman, and child cutting down wood and starting making ships. We're going on the march. To everyone listening here right now, if your money ain't straight, I don't want to hear excuses for it. It's Sunday. Monday morning, 7 a.m., you need to be on it. The goals are simple. Double your income. Have 1 year's income in the bank in savings. 800 credit score. That's the mission. I got credit card workshops that I've done that have dealt with that. Maybe I need to do another one. And you need to have a 7-figure plan. What? I said it. You need to have a 7-figure plan. Damn. But it's legit. You need to have a 7-figure plan. Having your job is not enough. I didn't say it's right. I didn't say it's fair. I didn't say that's what you want to do. That's what you gonna do. You need to have a 7-figure plan. Otherwise, you ain't got you don't have any power out here. Otherwise, you can't make nothing happen. And I am not just talking to the people in the so-called major American cities. I am not just talking to them. We have a bunch of folk here, and if you would be totally honest with yourself and tell the truth, you would say, Jason, the truth is my discipline ain't been up to code. If you were to tell the truth, come on now, keep it real. If you told the truth, you say, Jason, in reality, it ain't that I ain't got the money. My discipline hasn't been up to code. I didn't have a mom or a dad who were disciplined like that. I didn't have folks who were disciplined like that. My discipline ain't really been up to code. I really kind of sit around and party and bull jive. I sit in front of the Xbox. I lay up with no good bum ass niggas. I sit up here and sit on the cell phone every morning here. I got dudes in my DMs who ain't about nothing. I got hoes in my DMs who ain't about nothing. I don't really have a solid work ethic in that regard. Double my income, but wait a minute. If I can grip this she's a strong foe. And if I can grip her butt cheeks making $25,000 a year, why do I need to make 50? Now, let's be honest that that's the real issue. My numbers dropped when I said this right now. Damn, y'all. I ain't backing off of it. The great thing about being Jason Black is I don't have to respond to fickle people and I don't have to compromise. Let's just call it for what it is. That in reality, that's where you really at. In reality, that's where you really are. You like, hey man, if I can buy an Xbox making $25,000 a year, why the hell you stressing me about making 50? And if I can get with some little size 16, I say little size 16, there's a contradiction in terms. If I can get with a size 16 and I make $30,000 a year, why the hell you on my back about making 60? Let me get my Xbox. Let me get Sidibe Jr. over here and call it a day. Then when these folks institute diabolical things against you, you're a victim of it. And you get persecuted by it, but you can't do anything about it. I don't want to hear folks complaining about the immigrants. I've been hearing black folk complain about the immigrants now for 4 damn decades. And I'm not saying that it's not valid and that they should be here, because they absolutely should not. But let me also be very, very clear about something else. I'm talking about damn me DeSoto, Texas for 30 damn years. DeSoto, Texas should be looking like Plano. DeSoto, Texas should be looking like Plano, but it doesn't. Black folk all over DeSoto, Texas, when they getting together to get that looking like Plano, Addison, Richardson. Got black folk around that all around in that area there. And I'm like, okay, where's the plan? These other folk get together and make a plan. Ooh, they be getting together. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do. That's called being on code. That's what you're supposed to do. Trying to figure out how to get everybody else off code. No, that's not going to work that way. Us being on code, we need to focus on that. But you can't be on code when you come in there and everybody got an idea. Okay, we supposed to be well past the idea portion of it. I'm going to say this right now tonight. Let me go ahead and just blow the spot up. Where are my real estate agents at tonight? I got 4,600 people in here. I had 5,000. They didn't like what I just said a few moments ago. It hurt their damn feelings. So be it. I ain't got to back off of it. I don't have to back off of it. Where are my real estate agents tonight? I want to know where my real estate agents are tonight. I want to know where my real estate people are tonight. I want to know where my banking people are. Because if I go on Facebook, I see niggas trying to flex about that. They ain't helpful. That's not helpful. You don't have to have the answer for every damn thing, but by the way, those of you who live in these major American cities and whatnot, everybody's complaining about gentrification. Okay, what's your plan to deal with that? What's your plan? Dr. John, you say you're a commercial real estate agent in Atlanta? Send me an email. Send me an email. Because at some point here, I want to do that blueberry muffin. You say you're an underwriter. That's interesting. Send me an email, Blueberry. Sometimes she be, y'all know she be wilding out sometimes, so I got to be careful. She might show up in my DM. She might show up in my email with that camisole on. Save the camisole part, though, Blueberry Muffin. Send me an email, but no side chick applications right now. Just send me an email. Miss Butterscotch, I'd like to know what that is. Send me an email about that, because at some point here, I'm just saying here, there are folks out there. I don't want to hear about the excuses. You go to YouTube, you turn on your programs, you listen to these things, man, that's not going to work. All this theory, that's not going to work. We need some folks who want to get past theory and hypotheticals and daydreaming. Let's just call it what it is. Whole bunch of niggas want to daydream their way somewhere. It don't work that way. Nothing comes to a sleeper but a dream. Opinionation. If you're an underwriter, I'm interested in knowing what financial organization this is. That's great. Ashley, loan originator, send me an email. Jason, what are you going to do about it? Let me go ahead. Them folk over there, they didn't galvanize theirs. Roland Martin sitting right there with folks in elective office, lawyers, politicians, all kinds of folk over there who are bragging about what they're not going to do for us. Bragging about what they're not interested in for us. Telling us everything's fine. When you say vote for Kamala Harris, you saying everything's fine. We just need more of what we already ain't getting. So for my folks who deal with real estate and whatnot, send me an email. My email is theblacauthority@yahoo.com. Don't be sending me emails at random either. I'll just block them. But for the folks here, I just said, if you're in real estate, okay, if you're a real estate broker, agent, loan originator, underwriter, get at me. TheBlackAuthority@yahoo.com. You can go ahead and send me an email there. These other folks over there are getting theirs together. They've got their group together. That's the part I'm taking a look at. These other folks got theirs together. And they're not doing nearly as much as they could. Imagine what an on-code group of us could do. Folks, you take a look at Seattle. You take a look at Bakersfield. You take a look at Austin. You take a look at Atlanta. You take a look at Augusta. You take a look at Oklahoma City. You take a look at Kansas City, Minneapolis. I'm talking about all over the place. Folk are getting their equity out the game. Dark mankind, a business degree. We need business results. So I'm far less interested in titles and certifications and far more interested in, hey, Jason, this is what we do. These are the results we get. A commercial real estate agent, that's legit, especially in Atlanta. Atlanta, the most overpriced real estate in America. But let's call it for what it is. What Atlanta has done to build itself up in the last 30 years has been nothing short of phenomenal in a black city. Okay, but when I go down there, when I go strolling down Ted Turner Boulevard and Peachtree, I'm looking at these places. I stay at these places and I'm like, okay, how much do my people own here? That's my thing. Yeah, I like being at the Westin and your floor-to-ceiling windows and you look out over the skyline and the Coca-Cola building. That's great. That's wonderful. Emory, you can see Emory. That's great. How much of this do we own? Because what I'm saying is if we don't own anything, then all we can really do is create wealth for others. And that's the reason why the economics don't ultimately turn into generational wealth. Okay, so we can talk about them places and complain about that. I'm well beyond that. Let me tell y'all something. And my real estate people understand this. Folks, if you want to get a city or a place popping, all you need to do is have one economic epicenter. For those of you in real estate, you've seen it over and over again. They talk about building a shopping plaza or a shopping development. All you need is one. You got one with 3 or 4 serious tenants. That's the seed that starts things going. So when you talk about a Sweetie Pies or a Sylvia's or something like that, the old What's Crackling in Atlanta, I don't think it's open anymore. But by the way, I don't know what the hell happened there because business was out the damn door. Or you're talking about the turkey leg hut. We can go down the damn list. And that's not the only thing it can be. We love our food spots, but that's not the only thing it can be. The issue that we have is that folks want to sit up here and get a little bit of something for themselves and be high-income individuals as opposed to being members of a high-income group. Asians don't want to be high-income individuals. They want to be members of a high-income group, and they look out for each other, and that's what solidifies the wealth, and can't nobody move it. And that's why they are big on the idea of Kamala Harris getting to the White House. You will have a genetically black female who, for the first time in American culture, you've got a person who can claim some genetic black ancestry who aspires to be Asian. Whereas up until now, we had seen precisely the opposite. Everyone aspired to be us culturally. Now you see somebody who's claiming to be us, who's telling you how they aspire to be Asian. Well, that will certainly raise the stock of being Asian. I want you to recognize the levels to that. In the chat room, why do black successful businesses disappear? I will tell you all the reason why so-called black successful businesses disappear. Number one, not being on code. What? When they get together and it's a hustle, and if they do succeed, they didn't succeed because they wanted to build an enterprise. They succeeded because I don't want to work for them white folk, or I want to make a little bit more money. I want to style and profile, as opposed to I'm on a mission. The ones that endure, because there are some that endure, but they tend to be singular entities or singular sole proprietorships. But when they get together in a group, the problem with black businesses is usually there's not a boss. You got some folks who get there, but there's usually not structure. You take a look at the WWE, you take a look at Hilton, you take a look at Walmart, there's a boss. There is a boss. There's somebody in charge, and the person in charge is usually the most capable person. You come over here, and what happens is, in too many cases, there isn't really a driven individual who is saying that they have a mission that transcends money. So first and foremost, not having a code. Nobody's the boss. So it makes them very susceptible to infighting. Also, when you have a structure, you don't get to double back on it later. That's how Jay Morrison got over on so many damn people. What? Damn! Nigga, please. I said it. Jason, you didn't say anything when he was running around. I shouldn't have to say anything. I shouldn't have to say a damn thing after a decade and a half. If you don't recognize that and you don't trust my judgment, go on over there and see what happens to you. Y'all knew better when y'all saw him jump up and you saw me not say a word, even when people asked me about him. Jason Black wouldn't say anything about him. And I told y'all then, if Jason's not saying anything, he's trying to say something. Well, Jason, why didn't you talk? Because hoe-ass niggas on the internet, when you do that, then they'll jump up and try to use that for entertainment. Oh, Jason beefing with these folk over here. Then they'll make videos about damn me beefing. Didn't pay attention to a damn thing I said. I'm past that. If you see somebody's name and Jason Black ain't saying it, then you know I already see the damn scam going. You've been listening to me for 15 damn years, the man you hadn't seen and not met, and you ain't seeing none of that garbage dripping off of me. You've never seen any of those problems with me. My track record ain't good enough for you after a decade and a half. You don't recognize the honest track record. Get your ass over there with that Cesar Pena and the rest of them damn folk over there running around with DJ Envy. And go see how it works out. I ain't trying to prove nothing to you in that regard. You saw what the hell it was. My credentials are straight. If you can't distinguish the difference between what you see over here and what you heard over there, and then when you see me not chasing behind it, well, I don't know. How bad could it be? Okay, get your ass over there and find out. Get over there and find out. Don't tell me about any more damn ex-cons, ex-felons. Them fellas need to prove something. They ain't letting you look through the damn books. He telling you you can't look at nothing. I don't want to hear that. You need to have a third party who validates them. Third party accounting. But the other thing here is, by the way, if you don't have the ability to have that structured, that's a problem. When you put together a business entity, there's not supposed to be hundreds of people. There's supposed to be 2 or 3 of y'all at most. You're not supposed to have a dozen people. That's too many damn people. And you're raising money from all of them. If you have to raise money from all of them, something's wrong. Hey, dude, if you ain't got the money to go to a bank and get this thing in your name, something's wrong. If you have an idea, but all you can do is crowdfund the money from other people to finance your idea, something's wrong. My first documentary film, 7 a.m., I didn't get a dime from anybody. That was my money. The only thing I've ever crowdfunded for was, hey, something extra on top of it, marketing, promotion, but not to get the job done. So no, that's not what a legit thing looks like. And by this point, you should know that. But let's just call it for what it is. Folks like these old con ass niggas. They like that. Because they sit up here and style and profile and being flashy, and folks like that kind of thing. That goes over smooth. He's not really demanding anything of you. Folks, the reason why I don't take on investors is because most people have not convinced me that they've put in any time to learn to be a competent investor. You're not an investor, you're a gambler. There's the other reason that most so-called successful black businesses do not succeed, because they're not actually investing, they're gambling. Well, if you throw enough money at a wall at random, eventually something's going to stick for a little while. But are they actually learning how to be investors? Have they actually set up a structure? Let me tell y'all something right now. Right now, the Rupert Murdoch. Right now, that family, there's a whole damn war breaking out in that family right now because Rupert has finally decided which one of his heirs he's putting in charge of News Corp. Rupert has finally decided who it'll be, and the other siblings are not happy about it. Well, I guess they're going to be unhappy about it because he's chosen the son who's going to take over after him. Sometimes it's a little messy, but he has an obligation to the enterprise that he inherited and built to make sure that thing keeps going, and he's chosen who it's going to be. There will be structure. Somebody asked about Sumner Redstone. Sumner Redstone started going senile. Let's just call it what it is. And his daughter Sherry couldn't get the company out from up under him because Les Moonves, by this point, the only person that Sumner Redstone was listening to was Les Moonves, and Les Moonves was stiff-arming the daughter because the daughter wanted Les out. So Sumner wasn't really running the company anymore. Les Moonves was. Les Moonves is stiff-arming the daughter, so the daughter had to go to war to get the company away from her father, and then got Les Moonves out of there. But by that time, so much damage had been done. Les signed a bunch of bad deals with sycophants who were on his team, because it wasn't really his company, it was Sumner's company. And now you can see the result. So what happened with National Amusements, CBS Viacom, what happened is the old man got senile and it took forever to get control away from him. And he turned it over to somebody else. And they ran it into the damn ground. We ain't got that problem. We're not that big. I wish we were big enough to have those problems. We ain't got that problem. You got the local restaurant, the local store, the local consultancy. We ain't got that problem. But if you're going to set up an enterprise, there needs to be a boss. There needs to be a shot caller. Okay, somebody said Redstone Firearms. I don't even know that. Okay, we don't just name random things. I'm talking about something of some real significance. So, most likely mismanagement or whatever. For us, folks, it doesn't take that much, but you're going to need somebody. Okay, you got a good idea. Somebody else needs to bring the money for it here. Make sure it's properly vetted. You set up articles of incorporation. It's very clearly laid out who's running it and who's doing things, and that there's oversight, especially where the bank accounts are concerned. That you have oversight with that. That's how you set up a business enterprise. That's how you put that together. You have an accountant from day one. That's a real enterprise. That is very clearly spelled out that everybody involved is qualified to be there, and it's very clearly spelled out what you expect. You've had lawyers and everything look everything over to make sure all your I's are dotted and T's are crossed, and then you move forward and get that thing moving. That's how that works. And you rarely see that. The turkey leg hut, no offense, old boy brought his girlfriend in. Because if your money ain't right, you wind up having to get the money from another female. The problem wasn't that he got the money from the female. The problem was that female that he had a kid with and got the money from is a disciplinary problem. She's not going to take you as the boss. She doesn't acknowledge you as the boss. Okay, what you need to do is make sure it's spelled out in writing who gonna make the decisions. You got a female who's a disciplinary problem? Oh, no. You can't do no handshake deal with her. She's never had anything, so she doesn't have a problem with blowing up every damn thing. She's never had nothing. This is why you need to work with people who had something, not some con man ex-felon who ain't never had nothing. You get together with folks with credentials who've been in the game, been in business, work with folk, got real references. They got something and they ain't trying to lose it. Those are the folks you work with. Those are the people that you work with. Okay, most of you are like, well, Jason, I don't even know nobody like that. Yeah, because your situation isn't together. Do you have that 1 year's income in the bank and an 800 credit score? Do you have that? No? Okay, well, that's why you don't know anybody. That's why you don't know anybody. You got to get yours together first. It is what it is. Jason Black doesn't talk to any of y'all about investing in anything with, quote, no money. Get that nigga out of here. Don't come to me talking to me about investing in real estate with no money. I don't want to hear your damn lies and fairy tales. I don't trust anybody who came to the damn table and ain't got no money. And if I have to put up all the damn money, I'm going to run it. If I'm going to have to put up 100% of the funds, then I'm going to own 100% of the business. On account of the fact that you ain't putting in anything. That's the way that works. Somebody sitting up here trying to sell y'all all on what you want to hear, that you can get something for nothing. You need to divorce yourself from that. Don't trust anybody who tries to convince you that you can get something for nothing or starts a conversation about something for nothing. Get that nigga out of there. You find out how much it costs. You go and check it and do your due diligence to make sure that this squares up. That's your due diligence. Let me explain something to you all. If you are going to buy and to the gentleman who in there before there who said he was a commercial real estate agent, y'all will bear me witness for commercial real estate. Man, look here. If you go buy a piece of commercial real estate, do you realize how much money you have to risk before you develop anything? Folks, you have to put up earnest money. If you put up a deposit, that deposit will usually hold it for 3 months or so. While you do your due diligence, you have to pay a title company to do a title search. This is not money you get back. If it turns out that something ain't right and something doesn't check out, when you pay for a title search, that's money spent. You don't get that back. That's due diligence. You pay that money, it's gone. That's just to find out if we're going to move forward. When you put down your earnest money, that can be tens of thousands of dollars. And that's simply to hold that real estate while you do your due diligence. And if it doesn't work out, sometimes you can get an agreement that they refund it, but a lot of times you don't, because it might be something that couldn't be avoided. That's money gone. Or you're going to have to add it on top of the cost of whatever you're going to do. If you buy a piece of land and that land needs to be cleared, or it needs to be zoned, or if you have to redo drainage and the city or the county don't want to pay for it, you have to pay for all that. Or you have to put numbers in. So just doing your due diligence for commercial real estate, if you're going to develop something, that can be tens of thousands of dollars, and you have it. That's just to find out if you can move forward. To find out if we can do anything with this. Somebody says surveys. There's a bunch of things that go into this. I don't want to name everything, but there's a bunch of things that go into your due diligence if you're going to develop commercial real estate, that before you don't own anything. This is just to find out if you're going to move forward. You don't own nothing. That man still owns that property. You're going to pay tens of thousands of dollars to find out if this idea you got in your head can even be done here. Most of you just found that out tonight. Listen to me. This is Jason. So I can pay tens of thousands just to do due diligence? Yes. That's normal. What I just described is not some special circumstance. That is standard. That is standard in commercial real estate. What I just described. That's standard. Everybody got to do that. Most of you, I know, if you don't have anybody in your family, friends, school, these are things that black folks don't even know about. Find out the hard damn way. By the way, I just explained to you, that's how that works. And that's standard. You can't come into this game with no damn money. Somebody telling you that is lying to you. Or they're trying to con you. But somebody who's legit knows, hey, we can't make nothing move without no money. We can't do that. That's not going to happen. So what do they really want? Well, they told me if I put in $500, how many other people going in? 1,500? Oh, boy. So if you want to know why it is that most black businesses don't make it, then again, in reality, most businesses don't, but we're especially acute to that kind of thing. Most black businesses don't make it because not on code, not properly structured, they're not really there to make a profit, the motives may be bad, nobody's the boss. Folks, when you're the boss, sometimes you got to piss people off. You have to make decisions they don't like. You get the most competent person, and they're the ones who need to make the decisions. The only thing you make sure of is that you have your equity in it in writing so that you can't necessarily be pushed out. But from there, you let them make that thing run. Once the thing is running right, we want to sit up here and start arguing over, well, we should tweak this over here, tweak that over there, and then it becomes about ego. As opposed to the business is doing well, he wants to tweak this or tweak that. Dave Thomas did not argue with Harlan Sanders. Dave Thomas, when he was a franchisee of Kentucky Fried Chicken, he didn't argue with Harlan Sanders. Dave Thomas got his money together, did his due diligence, and started Wendy's. He didn't argue with Harlan Sanders. He left Harlan Sanders to run KFC however the hell Harlan wants to run it. That's the difference. He didn't go around talking about buying something with no money. If Harlan wants to run KFC however he doing it, he wants to keep the profits the way he doing it, he wants to give us a little couple of little pennies off the table the way he wants to do that, let him keep running that like that. I'm not going to be a part of it. I'm going to do my own thing. That's how you do it if you're not happy with the way your partners are running things. If you really got a real beef and you really got a real problem, well, then don't talk about it, be about it. Get up off your ass, get your money together, and go show that they don't know how to do this as well as you. If you really believe that, then don't be talking about it. Get on up and go show them. And guess what? KFC is still rolling today, and Wendy's is still rolling today. Most black folk, that would be a problem. It would eat their soul alive to see KFC is still in business. You supposed to be looking at your plate. If your goal was not to have a full plate for yourself, you're here for the wrong reasons. You're not here to strip nothing off of KFC's plate. Although if in the process of building your business, something falls off their plate onto yours, I guess it is what it is, charge it to the game. But your job is not to sit up here and say, okay, they got too much on their plate. You sitting up here looking at their plate and you got folk in front of you they need to eat. When you run a business, the folk in front of you got to eat. You put all them previous problems and previous grudges, that got to go out the door. You can't be a good business owner and that's the way you operate. You got to focus on the folk in front of you who need to eat. They came here to help you and work with you because they thought you were serious about eating. You're not sitting up here looking at Harlan Sanders' plate. You're looking at theirs. You're looking at the plate that you told them you were going to build for them. That's what you're supposed to be doing. And by any of you who work for the average black business, is that the way it's run? Or is it run by some egomaniac who wants to sit up here and poke their chest out and tell you that they built a lemonade stand so they're a better, that's all they're doing, but they're not really building an enterprise. The other thing is people skills. And by people skills, I'm talking about, are you a person who galvanizes people, or are you some impossible asshat to work for? Being a competent business owners are supposed to gather and rally people. You're supposed to be able to get people to work together. So many black folk here, because they've been on the bottom for so long, they're not afraid to fall again because they haven't really, when you've only stepped up 1 or 2 steps, you ain't afraid to fall back on your ass again. When you're sitting up 30 or 40 steps up, you're terrified to fall again. If you could get more people up to that 30, 40 step level, maybe we'd have fewer issues. But when you've only gotten up 1 or 2 steps, you can sit there and be an ass and the business goes under. Well, you didn't fall very far. I want y'all to make some real progress so you'll be afraid of falling. But to make real progress, you have to gather people together. You can say whatever you want to about Jason Black, and most people do. It don't bother me, never know now. But understand one thing, you have to admit, I do know how to get people together. I do know how to do that. The average person out there on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, or whatever hating on me can't do that. They can run their damn mouth, they can complain, they can pitch and moan, but they can't get 5 people together to shine shoes. They can't get 5 people together to agree on a damn thing. They don't inspire people to want to work together. By default, people don't naturally work together, although there is a biological component that does lead to that because cooperation is key to survival. And the more you cooperate with people, the more likely to survive you are. So I don't want to get into evolutionary psychology, but I understand it exists. But by default, people have self-interests. By default, people are defensive and don't naturally really get together with others because getting together with others could help you. It introduces a lot of help. It can also introduce a lot of risk. So by default, people don't naturally just get together, and they certainly don't get together under large things. But if you're going to be a competent business owner, you need to be able to inspire people to get together in numbers. If you can get 5 to 10 people together to cooperate, to have the same vision, to buy into it, Jay Morrison can talk about things, but he can't deliver on anything. A real business owner don't just talk the talk, they make it happen, but they can inspire people and then get them together and get them to cooperate and get them all to see a common goal and get them all to buy into it equally. And the average black business owner is so out for themselves. That's being off code. Your job is that when you walk up in that place, you ain't supposed to be taking pride in your damn Rolls Royce. You're supposed to be looking at all the people around you and saying, are they eating better? Are they living better? Are they dressing better? You're supposed to be like the parent who's making sure the kids are doing good. Instead, you making sure you eating all right and they're damn what they ain't getting. Let me do some skirt chasing. Let me do some nigga chasing. You're not a good business owner when you got that together and you eating good and everybody else is around here starving. That's not a competent business owner, and it's not a good one. That's supposed to be your mission when you get up, is make sure everybody's doing good. When you walk through there, everybody needs to be all right. A workforce needs to be able to look up to you. And most black business owners don't really see themselves as, they want to be in charge, but they don't want to be the leader. As contrary and counterintuitive as what I'm about to say may sound, you don't go into business to make money. What? Folks, you don't go into business to make money. You go into business because you're driven by it. You have something to prove. You got a skill set. This is how you want to make your mark on the world, and money becomes a side effect. But you don't go into business for the goal of making money. You go into business because you want to be excellent at something. And then the money makes itself. And most black businesses don't see it that way. They go into business specifically for the only goal of making money, and then everything becomes a race to the bottom. So they don't try to run an excellent business, because if he has an extra $10,000, it goes into his personal bank account. Whereas for other businesses, the extra $10,000 would go into the business. They would upgrade the sign. They would upgrade the doors. They would go from having regular doors to automatic doors. They would, if it's a restaurant, they're going to upgrade the decor. They're going to upgrade the stoves. They're going to upgrade the parking lot. It ain't going to be no dirt ass parking lot. I ain't going to sit here and lie. What's cracking? What the hell was going on? You got a black business, you need to have a real damn parking lot. You want to have a black business with cars parked on the sidewalk and parked on the street and parked on a dirt lot? No. If you're going to do it like that, just make it a straight drive-through and be done with it. But if you're going to have parking, it needs to be real parking. If that's the kind of establishment you got an extra $10,000. The $10,000 doesn't need to go that hoe over there. And it doesn't need to go to the Bentley dealership. It needs to go back into the business. Go get the employees some new upgraded uniforms. Y'all are used to going to Firestone and places and seeing uniforms. You got your employees, they represent your business. When you were struggling and just starting out, it was all right for folks to just have a regular khaki pants and whatever. Okay, once you start getting something up on you, it's like, okay, hey, y'all, we're getting this together. This is going to be more formalized right here. We doing better. We're running an enterprise. So the money needs to go back into the business, because that's going to increase it. When people see that our presentation is better, they see we care about the business. You got good lighting. You got clean doors, clean windows. People come in and spick and span. The floor is so clean you can eat off of them. The staff is required to be courteous. We ain't going to have jackass customers, but the customers are going to be on par with the staff. Clean seats, well done. The bathrooms are straight. I'm not saying that every place needs to look like the Ebbett Grill in DC. I'm not saying every place needs to look like that, but I'm saying you should aspire to it. I'm saying you should aspire to it. In the chat room, whether you can write those things off or not, my point is that's an investment in the business. That is an investment. If you're in transportation, having clean vehicles, if one of the vehicles has had a wreck, that thing don't need to be back on the road till you get them fenders replaced. You don't have a transportation business with busted up fenders, busted up grills, broken headlights, and talking about picking people up. Get that car fixed. Well, I'm waiting on that insurance settlement. Damn that. Get that car fixed. That represents your business. This tells people what you're doing. This tells them about who you are. And that's important. So that's the real reason your black businesses go the way they go. And any of you who work for them, you see a common strain go on there. The idea of upgrading is seen as a hassle and a liability. They start a hustle and not a business. And it's okay to start as a hustle, but you need to do like T.I. and Jay-Z. At what point do you shift over and transfer over from being a hustle to being a business? At what point does that occur? And I want you all to know the civil rights generation did not do that for us. The baby boomer generation did not do that for us. I'm calling on all of y'all. I'll be damned. Do you want to be sitting in front of your kids and grandkids giving them the same damn sad ass sob story? Many of you are. At what point does it change? At what point do you stop making excuses and say, hey, I got the money in the bank, credit score together. I got a loan officer down here. I got a CPA. Let's get something cracking. If you're going to lay up with somebody who's serious. If you're going to have somebody in bed with you making your toes curl, have somebody in bed with you making your toes curl who's serious. I would much rather that you be in bed with a chick who's a strong 6 and you two can have a falling out and be throwing Mai Tais at each other on the beach in Hawaii from your $2,000 a night penthouse, than sitting in Decatur with a strong 8 and ain't going nowhere. It's better to be sitting in the ambassador suite with a strong foe who took you somewhere than be sitting with a straight 10 and you sitting right where the hell you been. You ain't serious about this until you assimilate that part. Fellas, if you get turned on, if you think it's sexy to have a chick, you ain't going nowhere, and it's sexy to have a chick who ain't going nowhere with you, problems. She can be the side chick. What the hell is she doing here most of the time? That's what I'm talking about. Gonna take a very brief commercial, non-commercial break here. This is the Black Channel.
Hi, I'm Mr. B, and I welcome you to visit my website, MrBTheTeacher.com. Explore our site for my latest book, my blog, and podcast that are packed with insightful articles, tips, and strategies to help students navigate the educational journey. Need more help? Check out my education consulting and tutoring services for engaging lessons, downloadable resources, and personalized learning plans. Please join us at MrBTheTeacher.com today. Thank you all for listening.
A white supremacist assassin seeks revenge. Corrupt FBI agents with evil intentions. Dangerous black collaborators dedicated to treason. Occam Jeffers must defeat them all and somehow survive. One misstep and he's a dead man. Join Occam Jeffers as he looks the devil in his blue eyes and tells him, Black first. A sequel to the underground hit War of the Heart, Spirit of 1811 Publishing presents God Love Us, on sale at Amazon. Pre-order and save today. Visit spiritOf1811publishing.com and show your love.
Order yours today to experience all the benefits of Ash Kickin' Body Butter. With skin so smooth and soft, you'll thank us for it. Shop Ash Kickin' online. That's ASHKICKIN.com.
Hi, Hi, this is Brenda Starr, creator of Poetry with a Purpose and author of the book Pressed But Not Crushed. Pressed But Not Crushed is an anthology of political poems that address current and historical issues in American descendants of slave population and African American population. The book describes slaveries and its residuals, Jim Crow segregation, social depredation, and other relevant issues to American descendants of slaves and African Americans, including the current political climate that does not address our issues.
This is the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, Mr. Jason Black here. We're going to do things a little bit differently here tonight. I want to thank everyone who has contributed to tonight's program on PayPal, Super Chat there, Mr. Jasmine, Position Adjust, Andres Wesley, Pam Greer, Angela Maynor, and everyone else here who's contributed to tonight's program. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up here tonight because, to be totally honest with you here, I don't want to take any phone calls. We've been on for a couple of hours, going on 3 hours here. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up here tonight. I've gotten a bunch of emails here tonight. So for everyone who has sent me an email here, be looking for a response from me here within the next 24 hours. Be looking for a response from me. And I'm deadly serious about that. For those of you who want to get something going here in that regard, I mean, I've been doing this 15 years. I'm not really up for mistakes here. We should be kicking these other folks' asses with all 4 feet at this point right now. It makes no damn sense. So everybody who's ready to go, I'll be taking them seriously. Anyone else who isn't, hey man, like I say, maybe it's just not for you. But at what point do you stop the damn talking and actually get it done? We got money for what we want to have money for. We have resources for what we want to have it for. We got ambition and drive for what we want to have it for. So if you're a person and the only thing you can get motivated for is to grip some butt cheeks or lay up with a bum nigga somewhere because that doesn't require very much of you, well then stay where you are. But for everybody else, you want to ask what Jason is doing, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can hook y'all up and put you in some circles with some people so we can have something a little bit different going on here. I don't even really know how I'm going to have that done. Because sometimes you want to do it publicly, sometimes you don't. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But for those of you who did send me an email here, be looking to hear from me here within the next 24 hours. So you'll be seeing something. I want to thank all of you for tuning in to tonight's program. Oh, I'm getting on it right now. I'm not bull jobbing. I'm getting on it right now. Thank you for tuning in to tonight's program. Thank you for listening live or recorded. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. And this concludes tonight's broadcast of the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. And until next time, my brothers and my sisters from around the world, remember, Black is the future and the future is economic.